A champion standing under bright lights often believes that a huge payday marks the end of all financial trouble. He receives a massive check and assumes that his days of worry are gone forever. Yet, within a few short years, the heavy payments begin to pile up, swallowing every extra dollar he earns. The high income creates a false sense of safety that quickly hides the real threat fading in the background. When more money flows into a bank account, a strange urge takes hold of the mind. People naturally start buying nicer clothes, moving into bigger homes, and eating at costly tables. They tell themselves that they worked hard and earned every single upgrade. But without a strong plan, these small choices quietly stack up, turning a golden opportunity into a heavy weight that drags them back down to zero. This slow trap is known as lifestyle inflation, and it breaks high earners faster than any loss inside the ring. It happens when spending rises at the exact same pace as income, leaving no money behind to build a strong future. A person can earn 10 times more than before, yet remain just one missed check away from deep trouble because their monthly bills grew just as fast. True masters of money understand that lasting success requires a completely different mindset. Look at Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of the global store IKEA, who built one of the largest retail fortunes in modern history. Even as his business grew into a massive global powerhouse, he refused to let his personal spending rise with his wealth. He chose to live simply so his capital could stay focused on building something greater. While other corporate leaders bought private jets and expensive sports cars, Kamprad drove an old car for decades and regularly flew economy class. He viewed unnecessary luxury as a trap that weakens focus and wastes precious energy. By keeping his living costs low, he preserved massive amounts of money that stayed inside his company, fueling its rapid growth across the world without taking on dangerous debt. Most people do the exact opposite when they taste their first bit of success. They immediately upgrade their lives to show everyone else that they have finally made it. They buy things they do not need to impress people they do not even like. This constant drive for status traps them on a treadmill where they must work harder every day just to keep up with their new lifestyle. When lifestyle creep takes over, the chance to create lasting wealth is destroyed before it even begins. Every extra dollar spent on shiny objects is a dollar that can never work for you again. Instead of turning cash into productive tools, people trade away their long-term power for short moments of comfort. They mistake current spending for real wealth, failing to see that true security is what you keep, not what you spend. The emotional toll of this cycle is heavy and relentless. A person who earns a fortune but spends it all lives under constant pressure. They feel trapped in their job or career because their high expenses demand an endless stream of new money. The fear of losing it all lingers silently in the back of their mind, taking away the very freedom that wealth was supposed to bring them in the first place. Imagine a house that looks like a palace from the outside. The driveway shines with expensive cars. The windows glow with warm light. But inside, the walls are slowly closing in. The air is thick with a quiet panic. This is the hidden crime scene of the modern wealth trap. It does not happen with a sudden crash. It happens in the shadows. One swiped card and one signed loan at a time. The luxury slowly turns into a cage. Waking up in that cage is a terrifying moment. You realize that your massive paycheck does not belong to you anymore. It belongs to the bank. It belongs to the car dealer. The dread settles deep in your chest. Every morning you drag yourself to a high-stress job, not to build a future, but just to keep the lights on in a life you barely have time to enjoy. The exhaustion is raw. The fear of missing a single payment haunts every quiet moment in the dark. Breaking out of this nightmare requires a brutal, honest look in the mirror. You have to stop running in circles and completely rip up the old rules. The shift is sharp and it hurts at first. You must stop seeing money as a ticket to buy instant thrills. Instead, you have to look at every single dollar as a brick. When you treat money like a brick, you stop throwing it away on things that lose value the moment you touch them. You start stacking those bricks to build a strong wall between you and the outside world. This is the only way to construct real independence. A dollar spent on a flashy watch is gone forever, but a dollar placed into a strong, lasting foundation goes to work for you. It fights in your corner day and night so you do not have to. The outcome of this choice changes the entire course of your life. The heavy weight on your chest begins to lift. As your foundation grows stronger, the panic fades away. You no longer need to impress strangers to feel safe. The invisible chains of debt finally snap. You take back the power to walk away from anything that drains your soul, leaving the shadows behind to step into total, absolute control. The core of this strategy lies in disciplined asset allocation, which means directing your funds into income-producing assets rather than dead-end expenses. Instead of letting extra money slip away into higher living costs, you send those funds into real estate, businesses, or broad markets. Every dollar assigned to an asset acts like a hard worker, generating new earnings that belong to you for years to come. The primary battle is always an internal fight between short-term pride and long-term security. The world constantly pushes you to show off your gains through visible symbols like flashy watches, expensive dinners, and heavy car loans. Fighting back against this pressure requires incredible self-control. You must value your actual independence far more than the temporary approval of strangers who do not care about your long-term survival. When you allow your spending to balloon, you surrender your leverage in times of sudden market trouble. An unexpected loss of work or a sudden drop in business can crush someone whose monthly overhead is sky high. Without a wide margin of safety, even a brief pause in earnings forces high spenders to sell off valuable assets at low prices just to pay off their ongoing bills. On the other hand, maintaining a simple lifestyle while your income grows creates a powerful financial surplus. This widening gap between what you earn and what you spend is the engine of rapid growth. It allows you to pour large amounts of money into equity, giving you actual ownership in strong ventures that build compounding returns day after day. That growing surplus becomes your ultimate shield during hard economic times. When markets fall and others panic, a person with low living expenses and deep cash reserves stays completely calm. They do not need to sell anything at a loss. In fact, they can step forward and buy valuable assets at deep discount prices using the downturn to multiply their wealth while everyone else struggles to survive. This difference separates the visible rich from the invisible rich. The visible rich display their money through heavy consumption, but their net worth often remains surprisingly fragile underneath the surface. The invisible rich keep their lifestyle simple and quiet, quietly amassing assets that generate passive cash flow. They do not care about looking wealthy because they are too busy enjoying real freedom and peace of mind. The math behind this principle is clear and ruthless, powered by the incredible strength of compound interest. Money saved and invested early in life multiplies exponentially over time, turning modest savings into millions. But when lifestyle creep steals those early dollars, it robs you of the most valuable asset you will ever have, which is time for your money to compound continuously. A dollar spent on a foolish luxury today is not just a single dollar lost from your pocket. It is the loss of all the future interest the dollar could have produced over 30 or 40 years. When you upgrade your lifestyle too early, you burn the seeds of your future forest just to build a temporary fire that goes cold by morning. Every time your earnings step up to a new level, you face a critical fork in the road. You can choose to lock in your current living costs and save the extra income, or you can allow your bills to expand and consume the gain. Choosing discipline at those key moments is what separates people who build generational wealth from those who stay trapped on the earning wheel forever. Building true wealth requires treating your income like a disciplined tool sent out on a mission. Every dollar you keep and invest works for you without sleeping, complaining, or asking for a break. Over time, these invested dollars create a powerful army of passive cash flow that covers your basic needs, freeing you from the constant pressure of working just to pay for your daily life. When you adopt the habits of builders like Kamprad, you reclaim total control over your destiny. You no longer depend on a single paycheck or a good economy to feel secure. By keeping your personal overhead low and steadily expanding your productive assets, you build a fortress of stability that cannot be easily shaken by outside storms or sudden unexpected turns of bad luck. In the end, real wealth is not measured by the expensive items you show off to the world. It is measured by the options you have, the freedom you enjoy, and the peace of mind you feel when you go to sleep. By conquering lifestyle creep and keeping your eyes on long-term assets, you secure a life of true independence that lasts for generations to come.